how to stay focused. It seems these days that it's an impossible task. There's so much going on out there, so much being offered by millions and millions of companies, creating products and things to entertain and to pretty much fulfill every little desire or want that you could possibly have. Sometimes it's almost impossible to just go online and do a search for something and not go down a rabbit hole, into all these different websites and blogs and videos and all this stuff, right? You look at your clock, an hour went by, right? What happened? I just wanted to know something about this, and an hour later, you did research on things that you wanted to buy for your car, things that you needed for home, things that you're gonna buy for somebody's birthday next month. It happens to all of us. Nobody's really exempt from this. We're all being bombarded by the same amount of information and products and distractions. But there's a few things that I found that anyone could do in order to stay focused and achieve whatever goal they're after or complete whatever project they're after. And the first thing that I've realized is key to staying focused is knowing your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you want this goal to be accomplished? Why do you want this project, to be finished? Why do you want to pursue something, right? Why do you want to spend time on something that is going to, consume resources and energy and effort and focus, right? Why? Be clear on your why. So just ask yourself these questions like, why is this so important? And write it down. It's very important. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate, just a couple of sentences with your why, something that you can revisit on a daily basis or hour to hour basis, so you can really understand the reasons behind your putting your effort into this project. Probably the most important thing that understanding your why can do for you is helping you when the going gets tough. There's gonna be days, probably more often than not, when there's no motivation to get started on your day, no motivation to get started on anything, right? And that's when revisiting your why and that statement that you wrote down, putting yourself back in that moment when you had the most motivation to actually have set that goal for yourself, when you were clear about why you wanted it for your life, etc., is going to help you get things going. The more clear you are about your why, the more it can help you, the more your brain can actually focus on what it needs to do. Another thing that I recommend you do in order to stay focused is to always get in the habit of writing down your priorities for the day. Now, this is not just create a to-do list with all the stuff that you need to do. I'm talking about priorities, and there's usually no more than 3 that you can actually accomplish in one day, okay? Without going crazy and getting all overwhelmed for no reason. And this is how I go about it. I just ask myself, which task, if I accomplished it today, will move me closer to my goal the most, right? And you may have a to-do list. That's totally fine with all the things that have to happen today, tomorrow, this week, next week, doesn't matter. But there's only, again, one thing that can actually propel you forward the most today, okay? Task at hand. So what is that one thing? You're gonna realize that out of all the things on your to-do list, there's really only one thing that can be done today that will actually matter for you, for your goal, for your project, for your life. Okay, so get clear with that, because that is really the priority. Okay, so yes, maybe you can add a second one and a third one, throughout the day, but in reality, there's just gonna be one priority that you should focus on. If you start doing this and train yourself to only focus on your real priorities and pretty much eliminate or say no or push away all the things that are really not going to contribute immediately to your goal, is going to remove a lot of your overwhelm and stress, because now there's really an understanding of what has to happen. There's only so much time during the day, and if you focus on those things, you will see immense results right away. Everything is going to start changing, because now you're focusing on the things that really, really matter, instead of just focusing on the fluff and all the things that all they do is just really keep you busy and give you the illusion that, you know, you're progressing, that you're taking action, that things are happening, that things are moving along. But the reality is that all you're doing is just avoiding the main priorities, right? Because they may be hard to do. They may be, you know, the things that are outside our comfort zone. And I get it. A lot of these failures may feel like they're important at the time, but if you put them to the test of asking that question of them, which one of you is actually going to get me closer to the goal, you'll see that a lot of them don't stand to that test, okay? And sometimes a lot of these failures may require you to say no, and it may be hard to do that, right? No to a boss, no to some type of family event, no to some friends, you know, wanting you to hang out with them when you have other things going on, more important stuff going on. And it may be hard to do, okay? But if you train yourself to do that, again, the results are gonna be off the chart for sure. As you start prioritizing things this way and you get used to only working on the things that are important for you, it's not gonna be long until you start getting like real results. And the funny thing is that, you know, as you start accomplishing more and more, your brain just gets used to the idea, the momentum builds up, and now it gets a high from all the accomplishments that you're generating on a regular basis, right? Because now you're truly moving, you know, closer to your goal faster than ever, because you're actually doing the right things that will get you there, okay? And getting this high is key because the brain now is gonna want more of it, and it's gonna help you by removing resistance and, you know, helping you prioritize better and helping you say no more often to the things that are not important. And it's awesome because your brain now becomes your best friend because it wants this high that comes from all the achievement that you're generating and all the high that is getting from, you know, accomplishing more and more and getting you closer to your goal. There are a couple more techniques that I want to share with you that will help you stay focused. And one of them is, it's a funny one, but I use it constantly in my life, and I also teach it to my clients as well in order to, you know, explain this concept of non-negotiable. Okay, there's a lot of things in our lives that are non-negotiable, right? Brushing your teeth is one of them, right? You do it on a daily basis. It's a habit that we have that, you know, it's a non-negotiable, right? You don't leave your house without brushing your teeth. You don't go to bed without brushing your teeth, or most people, right? I hope you're one of them. Another non-negotiable could be taking a shower, right? Every day you take a shower when you get up and before going to work or whatever, when you come back from work. Every day it happens, right? For some of us is going to the gym. It's a non-negotiable. You know, you go every day or every other day or whatnot, and it's something that happens from, you know, 4 to 5, and, you know, nothing can get in between you and going to the gym. For some people, not everybody, right? So if you take that concept and start looking at your priorities as non-negotiable, like brushing your teeth every day, right? You have a list of things. You ask the question, hey, you know, what is the one thing that I can accomplish today that will move my project forward the most? Okay, this one thing. Okay, this is a non-negotiable. Nothing can come in between me and accomplishing this thing today, even if it's the only thing that I accomplish today, but it's the only thing that I can do right now that will actually move my stuff forward the most, right? So it doesn't matter if it takes you 2 days just working on that one thing at the exclusion of everything else. Listen to that, at the exclusion of everything else, okay? Doesn't matter, because that one thing is the one thing that is actually gonna get you, you know, forward the most or closer to your goal the fastest, okay? So why would you do anything else, okay? So if you start regarding these priorities as non-negotiables, like brushing your teeth, like taking a shower, like going to the bathroom, right? It's a non-negotiable. It doesn't matter where you are, you have to go, right? You could be in the middle of a meeting, and if you have to go, you have to go, right? I know this is crazy what I'm saying, but you know, you get the point, right? It's a non-negotiable. Now treat your goals as non-negotiable as well. Treat your priorities as non-negotiable. That will help you stay focused the most. Just this concept, just think about it and say, well, this is just like brushing my teeth. It has to happen, okay? There's no way around it. Let's get it done. the last thing I wanted to share with you that works very well with me is, finding a place where a lot of your distractions are gone. Okay, so sometimes for me it's the library, right? I love actually going to the library because I just take my computer there and everything from my house is gone. The TV is gone, my music instruments are gone, everything that in my house that could just distract me from working is gone. So there's only one thing that I could do. And as long as I don't start browsing the internet, which I force myself not to, right? I just go to the library with just one goal, with my number one priority for the day, okay? And that's all that has to happen at the library. By removing a lot of the distractions, you naturally remove a lot of the resistance because now there's nothing pulling your attention in any direction, right? There's only one thing that you can do at the library. Can't even talk or anything, right? Or make any noises or listen to music or whatever. You have to focus and you remove a lot of the distractions. That naturally removes resistance out of you working on your priority. I have one last thought on this because I don't want you to think that all I want you to do is just work on your priorities and your work and your goals and your business or whatever it is that you're trying to do. Going on vacation is also a priority. It is for me. Traveling is a major priority and it has to happen every year, several times. Okay? Me and my wife, we have a list of the places that we're gonna go visit for the next 10 years. We have a list and when we're gonna go, what time of the year, what month, more or less, okay? It's all set on paper, okay? So those are real priorities that we have that we like to keep. When you're thinking about these priorities, I want you to create priorities around not just work and these type of goals that you have, like for business or whatnot. Going on vacation is also a priority. Spending time with your wife and kids is also a priority. Doing some other sport or hobby of yours, whatever that is, spending time with your friends, if it is a priority for you, I want you to schedule it. That is also part of your life and it's also part of how you want your life to be. If you're not conscious about these things, it's gonna happen randomly, okay? I suggest that you take control of these things, right? That's also part of focusing. You're focusing on the things that are important, right? I don't want to say, come Sunday night, and I was like, what did I do this weekend? Nothing happened this weekend. But I had a lot of things that I wanted to do, but how come I had the time and they didn't happen? Because they weren't scheduled, okay? So if you go and schedule the important things during your weekend, during your week, during your vacation and everything that's important is going to happen because you want it to happen, right? You're consciously making it happen. It's super important. So if you wanted to go to the beach on Saturday, you schedule it, you make it happen. If you wanted to have a night out with your friends on Friday night, then you go ahead and you put in your calendar, you call everybody, you send an email, and that is a priority, okay? No work, no other stuff can get in between you and that priority because that priority is part of a different goal. It's a part of your social life. It's part of, other things that you may want to accomplish. So I'm not saying this is better than the other. You choose what's important for you. But the priorities, whatever they are, right? Every single one of these goals has to have priorities or things that have to happen in order for them to happen, okay? So one of them is scheduling, right? You have to schedule, you have to know what you want. If it's social life, if it's, sports or hobbies or family or traveling, whatever that is, it's a goal on its own and it has to have its own to-do list and its own priorities. Anyway, I think you get the point. Part of focusing is understanding your whys, your goals, your priorities, and how you're gonna get there. That's the focus. When you don't understand where you're going and what has to happen, then everything happens randomly. And that's why people suffer from distraction syndrome. Because what should I do? Where should I go? Well, if you don't know, what you're trying to accomplish, how can you know? So it's easy to be distracted. There's no why. There's no, to-do list. There's nothing. So that's why, it's so important to understand where you're going first, because from then you can start planning and scheduling the important stuff that is going to help you create the life that you want to live on purpose. Please don't forget to leave your comments down below letting me know what part of the video was the most impactful for you. And today I have a special guest to help me close out this video. Please everybody welcome David.
Hello, my name is David. Until next time, I wish you all the best. Let's get out there and start changing lives one session at a time.
See ya.
We nailed it!
Yeah. Awesome. Got it.